I'm Ashish. I look after the SMB business for Lenovo in India. And today, what we did was basically we spoke and announced end-to-end solutions for SMBs in India, which can help them to manage their workforce better and improve their employee productivity. We specifically spoke about Lenovo Smart Fleet Management. We spoke about Premier Support, Device as a Service, Thinkshield, and Asset Recovery Services. We also spoke about how Lenovo can help SMBs and other enterprises in deployment and configuration services as well. Along with that, we launched the ThinkBook Plus today, which is the first of its kind device in the world with dual screen, one screen on the A cover, which is a 10.8-inch e-ink display with a 13.3-inch display, only 1.4 kg in weight and 10 plus hours of battery life. So the device is basically targeted for doing multitasking per se, because most of the employees do spend a task toggling between various apps. So ThinkBook Plus is our attempt to help users and employees to improve on the same. What we have done is obviously been working with our channel partners very closely. Channel partners are the backbone of our business in India for overall Lenovo, and especially for SMB business in India. Almost all the business which we do in India in SMB, we do our through our channel partners. So we keep on working with them and looking at the ways on how we can make it easier for them to do business with us, do business with their customers, and at the same time make sure that they are profitable in nature. So some of the few steps which we have taken during these times, and before that also, we launched the Lenovo Partner Hub. We actually just launched it a couple of weeks back. It's part of our partner transformation journey under the overall service-led intelligent transformation itself, where we made it easier for partners to access the resources to do marketing campaigns with Lenovo, to help turn around a price quote faster for their customers, to get rebate calculations on time, to see that how much they are on their achievement against their target, sort out their own customer list, look at their own customer profitability. So these are things which have been in progress for at least 24 to 36 months, and very happy to share that Sharad is here and he has been leading all this effort with his team in driving that. And this year we would be seeing the fruits of that. What we have also done during this time, because obviously the times have not been easy, there is uncertainty all around, particularly economic uncertainty. So it's about that where do you invest money or where you don't invest money in business, and we see the same with our customers as well as our channel partners. So that's where our Lenovo Financial Services offering, our LFS offering, comes in very handy, where we do offer channel financing to our channel partners, work with them to offer short-term lease, long-term lease to their customers, short-term rental, long-term rentals. We have worked across the board with our tier one distributors, with our tier two commercial channel partners, and with the larger channel community to try and see on how we can help them to solve the customer problems. And that's where some of the solutions which we announced today actually come in very handy for them also. And we have seen channel partners use them very well during the pandemic. We all know that how manpower movement is restricted and people are struggling. So that's where a lot of our channel partners have used deployment and configuration services to make sure that when the device reaches their customers, it's a plug and play device, and the customer also doesn't loses their productivity. At the same time, the channel partners don't put their employees at the risk of pandemic or catching any of this thing. So those are some of the things which we have been last 1 year. We have seen our channel base grow almost 50% for us, and that's all thanks to the faith and trust which they have put in us, which is there, and that also resulted in our highest ever market share in Q1 FY 2021, where we hit 33% plus market share by growing 14.7% on a year-on-year basis. So these are very interesting times for Lenovo and for our channel partners, and we are very happy to grow with them. Incentive program or a rebate structure It's actually one of the best in the industry. We do provide very consistent rebate programs to our channel partners, because what I have learned in at least in so many years of doing business is channel partners look forward to two things. One is profitability, but more than profitability, they look forward to predictability,
Right.
because obviously you want to make sure that if you are investing in business, the cash flow is predictable. You know what kind of profit you'll be making out of that. You don't want something which maybe gives you 1 quarter or 1 year of very exponential profit, and another year it suddenly goes down, because at the end of the day, it does take a toll on the channel partners and their employees. So our program has been very consistent. Our program has been very linear. What we have also done during the during the pandemic time, we have worked with our channel partners to make sure that their profitability remains in picture. They are able to serve the customers in a better way. We did work on them to identify the right SKUs which we should be calling in the market. We did work with them to try and figure out that what kind of support services we should be giving in the market. So I'll give you a very small example of that. That when we were speaking to our channel partners, what they bought for to us, that normally they were going and providing extra services to the customers before pandemic, if the machine was down, because at the end of the day in technology, you need a 24 by 7 by 365 kind of a support as an option available, and that's where we came up with premier support. Looked at the fact that our channel partners may not be able to do it, so we help them to provide the same level of support to their customers, so that the customers remain happy, and in turn, obviously, that means more business for our channel partners. So we have been working across the board, and most of the announcements which we have done today are not only applicable to customers but our channel partners, and there would be specific rebate programs also, which we would be announcing for our channel partners to try and take advantage of all the offerings which we have with us. We mentioned during the overall partner thing also, one of the things which we have been propagating with partners and we have seen partners utilize a lot is our Lenovo financial services. It's Lenovo's financing arms. We have seen partners use channel financing. We have seen partners take advantage of short-term lease, long-term lease, short-term rentals, and long-term rentals to their customers. Some of the cases where if a channel was stuck up, we did offer extra credit days and extra credit facilities to them to come over the pandemic situation per se. And we have seen channel actually respond quite well on the same, and that's what, as you rightly pointed out, has led to our success. Saw ourselves hitting number one and hitting a share of 33.7% at a growth of 14.7% on a year-on-year basis, and that won't have been possible without the support of all the channel partners. The pandemic did affect everyone, and also it affected our ways of working, because at the end of the day, we have to follow the government of India regulations and make sure that our employees are safe, because their safety and health is more important than anything else, and also abiding by the laws of the country. So when we looked at that, we had to obviously come up with some of the innovations which is there. So and some of these were in work in progress for pretty long time. So our WhatsApp support is something which worked very well for us during this time. We made sure that we tried and solved as many calls over tele support or over chat support as possible, so that our employees or even the customers don't have to step out of their place. Now, with the lockdown slowly opening, we have obviously, wherever allowed, we have opened our service center. We are following all the hygiene and social distancing norms, and at the same time trying to ensure that we give our customers the best in class support. That's where we also launched the premier support as an offering to allow our customers and partners get 24 by 7 by 365 support, because at the end of the day, in current pandemic situation, when your company's own IT department is not available or for that matter, the channel partners are not able to extend the exemplary support which they were otherwise giving to their customers, there is a way to reach out to Lenovo for the customers and partners so that they can take advantage of that and solve for their repair and protection services per se. What we also did was we worked with our the current scenario also posted a challenge of economic uncertainty where some of the businesses are not sure whether they should invest or not. We are working with our channel partners to try and offer device as a service as much as possible to our customers so that they can ramp up or ramp down as they need and pay us on a monthly or a quarterly basis as it suits their needs. So those are some of the few things which we are doing for our partners and customers. The good part is the pandemic has obviously affected everyone equally, obviously some businesses more than others. But what we have seen, both our channel partners and customers being very understanding of the current situation and what is possible to do and what is not possible to do. So it has definitely, I'll not say it has not affected SLAs because wherever we are not, if we are not able to extend a service, because of the social distancing or the health hygiene guidelines, we obviously don't want to break any of them. Their SLAs in some parts of the country have been definitely impacted more than others. And similarly from the customer side, from the channel partner side, payment cycles also getting affected. But I think collectively we have been able to work together and face some of those challenges, to overcome some of these challenges, like we usually do. And that's where I think the entire business partnership between Lenovo channel partners and the customers come in, where we understand each other and try to help each other as much as possible within the realms of what is actually possible to deliver during such tough times. If we look at how we look at retention and acquisition, I think for us, customer is important. The customer experience which we give them is important. And when we talk about partners also, at least between me, Vikram, Sharad, and all our internal team, we obviously treat our partners also as customers, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who bring business to us, and they are the ones who make us relevant in the market. Some of the retention customers, as an example, what we did was on our specific products like ThinkBook and ThinkPad E, we actually launched premier support for products which were already bought also in the start of the quarter, to ensure that they can get a 24/7 by 365 support in the current situation. Similarly, for acquisition customers, when we go and talk to them, we do give them all the offerings which are on table, so that at the intent being that they focus on their core business while we try and solve their IT and technology problems. And we have seen these solutions and offerings being increasingly taken up by both the retention customers and acquisition customers, because they do understand the challenges, and they do understand the challenges which their employees are facing, either in form of their IT department not being able to do how much they were doing before, or in terms of the loss of employee productivity if your technology tools are not up and running. One of the things which we always speak about to businesses is that you don't want only your laptop to be good looking, you want it to be good looking, and you want it to be secure. You want it to be rugged, you want it to be having all the collaboration tools possible. And I think that's where our Thinkshield offering comes into play. Most of our laptops, in fact, Vikram can correct me, but almost all of our laptops now come with a very simple thing, as simple as a thing as a Think Shutter, which allows people to make sure that if they are not using the camera, they can physically shut it off. We have a power on fingerprint button, which means you can't hack the fingerprint button very easily. We have our whole host of Thinkshield services, which allow for timely updation of your operating system, of your BIOS and firmware, so that you are on the latest piece. And we have a tie-up with software and services companies also to provide the right software which can help in data security to all our customers. And whether we talk about a rental program or we talk about device as a service, we have seen an increased uptake of that from both our end customers as well as channel partners. In terms of vertical wise traction, obviously we won't be able to share. Customers are today looking at device as a service more and more as we go forward because of the economic uncertainty. There are ramp ups and ramp down, and now I think customers are realizing you don't want both the conditions. You don't want laptops or desktops being there with you without employees, and you don't want the other way for sure, employees there being without laptops and desktops. And I think device as a service is a perfect solution for that because it helps you to ramp up or ramp down as your business is doing, as the economy is doing. And that's something which we have seen more and more customers and partners take up during these times. When it comes to how do we differentiate from our immediate competitors, I think when we look at ourselves, we look at ourselves in the fact that how we can be easier for our customers and our partners to do business with. Obviously, we are in a competitive environment. We want to be the best, but how? But we don't make offerings keeping competition in mind. We make our offerings keeping our customer experience, our partner experience, and how we can make it easier for them to do business with. And I'm pretty sure with all the solutions and offerings and ThinkBook Plus, which we have launched today, our channel partners and our customers will find it much more worthwhile and much more easier to do business with us. We've seen good growth, good momentum on the SMB side, and all the initiatives, all the product and solutions offering, which we have been launching as a team, has resulted in great results for us. We saw us hitting number one in SMB in Q1 FY 2021 with a market share of 33% plus. We grew our market share on a year on year by a whopping 14.7%. And we've seen our customers and partners appreciate all the offerings what we are giving. We see new age edtech startups doing very well. We also see traditional schools and colleges adopting technology very fast. Who have children at home or who know people who have children at home do know that the children also need their own technology device, whether it is in form of a laptop, desktop, or a tablet, so that they can attend their online classes. And at the same time, the parent needs their own device so that they can work from home. So this obviously is leading to increased demand of laptop, desktop, and tablets. So we are obviously participating in that. We are seeing good growth momentum across the board. I do see this journey to be in right direction for India, because when we look at it, erstwhile India has one of the lowest penetration rate when we talk about laptops and desktops, particularly. So the current pandemic has just allowed it to be pushed in the right direction. Before the pandemic, before everything, till last year, there were many a time when I was doing such meetings, and the question will come that what is the usage of a laptop or a desktop over a smartphone? That why do I need that if I can do everything on a smartphone? I think now that question certainly is out of the window. I think everyone realizes that each technology device has its own use case scenarios and purpose, and we are seeing growth all around because of that. Apart from education and edtech, we have seen e-commerce do very well. And when I talk about e-commerce, it's not about buying on for e-commerce. Apart from two or three which are there, we've seen e-commerce across the board take off very well. We have seen SMBs adopt to e-commerce very well. Most of the SMBs today have an online or an e-com presence, and that's something which is helping them. So we have seen e-com do very well. We have seen BPOs do very well. We have seen logistics do well. We have seen telemedicine do well. So there are pockets which are certainly doing well. Obviously, there are pockets which are not doing so well when we know about them. Hospitality is one, restaurants are another, travel is another one. But we have seen broad-based technology adoption by SMBs, and what they have also seen is with the technology adoption, the business for them becomes a bit better. By the way, we've seen the financial services also doing very well during the pandemic times. Difference is that SMBs were already in this digital journey. They were already doing digital adoption. And when we talk about Indian SMBs, I think Indian SMBs are one of the most, they want to adopt technology. It has just got accelerated a bit. Some of the businesses which were maybe not looking at technology has started looking at technology in new light on how it can help them to do business better, how it can help them to realize better revenues, how it can allow their employees to be more productive. I think one of the other big realizations for SMBs, and it's also a mindset change, is that the work can happen remotely. Otherwise, mostly in SMBs, it was this thing that employees have to come to office and then only the work will happen. I think as much as it has been a technology mindset change, it has also been a culture mindset change for SMBs. And I think in long term, that augurs well for SMBs because it brings down the long term cost down in form of real estate, in terms of travel, and it allows for collaboration. It also allows SMBs to, by the way, hire people, the best in class people from across anywhere in the country. It's no longer restricted now. If I am an SMB in Bombay or in Bangalore, I need somebody from Bombay or Bangalore itself. So we have seen even that cultural mindset change, which would be very good for the overall Indian economy. During these times, I think what was important when we spoke to channel partners was uh, availability of relevant information. And Sharad as his team had been leading a very good effort on what we have something for our channel partners called Lenovo Pro Connect app. It's an app basically connects Lenovo directly to all the channel partners. And what we saw is that our channel partners came back and said, "Hey, can you get more and more information available on the app so that it becomes very easy for them to communicate?" Because obviously, sometimes the distributor office would be closed, or things will not be available, or the person will might not be available for some reason or the other, because these are tough times. And at that time, the app becomes a definite source for the channel partner to bank on. So we focus and concentrated a lot on our app. We made improvements in that. We built up it. We did changes so that the partners can see all the resources, whether it is product, service, escalation matrix in one place. And apart from that, I think what the channel partners told us is that there are too many webinars. Please give us the relevant information which are required. And I think we've worked and focused on that, we do not bombard our partners with unwanted information, but help them to tide through these tough times, because obviously they were facing the same challenges as we are, all of us are facing, that you have to do your work, you have to do your work at home, and you have to help your spouses and partners also during these tough times. So I think what Lenovo, what we did, in my view, and obviously you guys have to tell us more about it, but not bombarding our channel partners with unnecessary information, making sure that they know where the relevant information is available, and helping them get that relevant information in the most efficient way. The supply chain across the board has got affected. We have seen, and that coupled with the increase in demand has affected across the board, whether it is tier one cities, tier two, or beyond that. What we have seen is our business takes in upcountry were already pretty healthy, and we had a good dimension of that marked out already for us. And then when we combine it with the feedback which we were getting from our Pro Connect app, where all our partners were joined together and joined with Lenovo, what we were able to do was, maybe we were able to take corrective actions much faster, get our supply chains up and running, Like when we saw this increased demand, wherever possible, where we had supply chains across the world, and we operate in 150 markets across the world, we were able to take advantage of that manufacturing footprint and pull in supplies from world over to help our partners, whether in tier one cities or up country possible. Obviously, we keep on hearing that the supply is still less, but I think it's a position which all of us will have to live with for some time possible, because the supply chain across the world is still not fully up and running. When we look at logistics itself, that itself is broken. So it will take some time, but we are doing our best effort possible to do that. And I think the proof is actually in the pudding, and that's where we saw our market share well in Q1, and that's thanks to all the inputs which we got from our channel partners and customers, and who helped us overcome this supply challenge to a large extent. The channel partners and customers, I think one of the things which is there in the back of the mind is that, is this a true DaaS model or not? I think that's the first thing which comes into picture. Or does it have your inbuilt lock-ins which are built? And is that, do I'm taking device as a service so that I don't get loaded with devices when I don't want? Do I have clauses which are in favor of me so that they can ramp up the business up and down as they want? I think that's the primary concern which we see most of the customers and partners coming up with. And what we do is basically we go and educate, we run them through all the things which are there, and we make sure that they understand that what is being offered by Lenovo is actually a true DaaS model available for them. That's the major challenge which we have seen in adoption of DaaS from them. I think the other challenge, what we have also seen adoption on DaaS, people forget that when we quote with DaaS, we are offering something end to end. An organization talks about, they only look at the cost of the device. They forget about the fact that the device has to be supported 24 by 7 by 365. They forget about the fact that device at the end of the day has to be in an environmentally friendly way disposed of after the end of life cycle. So those are the costs which organizations don't build when they are buying only a device. But when, as a responsible company, when we are putting a device as a service, and to make sure that the lock-ins are not there for the customers, we have to build in all those. And that's the other challenge which we face. As at the end of the day, we have to educate customers about it. But where we have seen that wherever customers have given us time to explain all of this, we have been able to explain them pretty well, and they have understood the benefit which a DaaS offering. But we don't quote our exact channel partner numbers or figures, but I think we can quote our growth numbers. Sharad, over to you.
Yeah, so see, if you see year on year, we have almost doubled our presence at a country level. When it comes to reaching out to the smaller towns or districts, north, south, east, west spread is concerned, we are equally growing everywhere. If you ask me. And the beauty of the business is that traditionally the high end is typically sold on the metros, but in our case it is spread across, and probably it is because of the hard work that the team has done on the ground and the product features that we provide, and it's widely accepted by the customers. So geographically also we are going equally. As far as online and offline is concerned, we are present on online, and we are more focused for the customers who are preferring to have a B2B purchase there. So we are still 90-95% on channel business and 5% through online.
The best things which we do is we maintain a price parity between offline and online, and I think more than anything, that's what we owe to our customers. We do not want our customers to be spending time or thinking that are they getting the right price for the product or not. I think what we call it internally is getting the first time right price, and that's very important for the peace of mind of the end customer itself. So we try and ensure that, and what we try and ensure is that every channel, whether it is online, whether it's our system integrator friends, whether it's our partners in smaller towns, everyone has its own needs. So I think team has done a detailed this thing and try and figured it out that what product will work in what market, and what kind of channel partners would be able to service it better, and we try and utilize those. What we sell in a tier one city like Bombay or Delhi would be very different from what we sell Warangal, for that matter. And I think that's where the strength of Lenovo comes into play. Our broad-based product offering, where we start from a V series laptop to a ThinkBook, a ThinkPad, a ThinkPad TNX, a ThinkBook Plus now, our ultra high-end X1, X series, X1 Carbon, mobile workstations, our desktop portfolio, our tablet portfolio. I think that's what makes Lenovo such a good partner to work with for channel partners, because we do provide solutions across the board. It's not that we are only strong in one single price band or in one single SKU. It's about how we are able to cater to the broad requirements of the partners and customers across the board.